Hello and welcome to DVxUI. Today on this channel, we are going to create this AI website hero section using Figma. And as you can see, this is also animated. So let's learn how can we make it in Figma. So before starting, it is important that we understand what we have been given on the screen. So this is called the canvas, which is right in the center. And over here you will find all the pages that I have created for this file. The first one is design, the second one is YouTube, and the third one is learn. Then under layers panel, I have a frame called resources. If I double click on this one, I will go over here. So here I have my circle that I'm going to be using in the website and also the color. Well, we are going to design this component in Figma from the very scratch. So even if you access these resources from the description, you don't have to actually use this. You just have to follow the video and make your own. Perfect. So let's start the designing part. So to start designing that hero section, first of all what I need is a frame which is going to serve me as a background. So for that I'm going to go over here, or I can press F key on my keyboard. Then over here under the desktop, I will find this desktop. Click on it. And now I have a beautiful desktop frame over here on the canvas. But this is looking way too small. So hit Shift and 2 and this will zoom to perfect. Now what we can do is we can change its color first of all. So for the color, I'm going to go over here by selecting my frame and make it 00. So 6 times 0 is the hex code for the black color, and if I write 6 times 0, it will take the black color. Also, you can just write 00 and Figma is intelligent enough to understand that you are asking for the black color. Perfect. Now the second thing that I want to do is the corner for this frame are very sharp. So I'm going to select it and go to corner radius and make it 80. So now some corner radius will be given to this frame. Now this is looking better. Then I will select it once again and then I will go to layout guide. Click on it, then switch to columns. Then in the count you need to write 16 and in the margin you need to write 120. And now you will see some red bars have appeared on the screen. Well, these red bars are going to guide me throughout the process of designing so that I don't lose the spacing, the alignment and the uniformity of the website, which is very important in designing. And if you are wondering that how do I know about all these concepts, let me take you to a website. Let me open a tab and write here RedUI.com. Go there. So RedUI is my website where what I have done is I have summarized all my knowledge, basically the practical knowledge of the designing world. So suppose if you go to design basics and then if you open this spacing and layout, you will get all the lessons that you can read and understand how the practical designs are made in the real world. Not only this, at the end of every lesson, as you can see, you have a challenge. If you want, you can complete this one and testify your knowledge. So I highly encourage you to go to RedUI and read the lessons. Now let's go back to Figma and continue designing our hero section. So now layout guide is provided. Let me cross this. Go to stroke because I want to provide some border to this frame as well. Right now what I am doing is I am preparing my background for all the elements that are going to be put inside this hero section. So for the color of this border, I am going to write FF, which is again the hex code for the absolute white color. Perfect. And now I don't think you can see it, so let me zoom in. So a white border is provided. Perfect. So I will hit Shift and 2 again. Now the border is very subtle and almost invisible. So I will click over here. then go to stroke and write the weight as 6. And then I will make this position outside and this opacity to 30% so that it looks better and also gives a much better feel. So I guess our background is ready. Now the second thing that we need to do is to design that animation part, because that is also a part of the background. So for that, let me scroll it over here. Perfect. So for that, first of all, I'm going to take a frame, drop it on the canvas, and now this is the desktop frame. Figma is way too intelligent to understand that if you are working with the desktop, you need a desktop frame again. Well, we don't need the desktop frame. So from here in the width, I'm going to change the width to 1000 and the height will also be changed to 1000. And then I will clip it. In this way, if the height is changed, the width will also be changed. Let me show you. So suppose if I change it to, let's say, 500, the height is also changed and it will always keep the aspect ratio in mind. So let me go back. Perfect. So now we have our frame ready and inside it I'm going to put my circle. So for that you need to hit O on your keyboard, drop a circle something like this, and now here in the dimension I'm going to clip it, and I think you now know why I have clipped it. Then I'm going to write 860. Then I'm going to use this alignment tool to place it at the middle. First of all at the center, then at the middle. Perfect. Now I'm going to go to this circle and access this little dot, and then I will open its mouth using this dot, and then I will push it back. In this way, what is going to happen is I'm going to get the access to this arc. The sweep value is 91. I'm going to make it 100. So this will close the mouth. And now here I'm going to write 50. Exactly 50%. Perfect. So I know this is in the center and also our circle is ready. So let us provide it a great color. So go to fill and then take this blue color. Perfect. Now the color is provided. The next thing that we can do is we can select the circle. Then we will go to fill and switch to gradient. In this way, a gradient will be given to the circle. Well, I want these two colors to be same, which is going to be the first one. So just copy paste. Now both the colors are same and the gradient has disappeared. The next thing that I want to do is I want to drag this first one, the dot, and place it right at the center, something like this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one and place it at one corner of this frame. Then I will hold Shift. In this way, I can drag it back without losing the line. Perfect. So now this is very good. And then for this first color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide it an opacity of 0%. Perfect. This step is very important. So you must pay your attention at best. So first circle is created and it is called ellipse 1. Now what we need to do is we need to make 3 more. So I'm going to select this one. Let me rename it to circle. Then select it, hit Ctrl D, place it over here so that we have plenty of space between them. Then Ctrl D again and then Ctrl D again. So now we have these 4 circles over here. In this way, if I show you all these circles, you must note that all your ellipses have the same name. Otherwise, the animation will not work. So the name of the ellipse should be same in all the frames, as you can see. Now what I can do is I can design the different states of the circle. So this one is perfect. I'm going to select this one. Let me zoom in. Go to linear and then I will hold shift and move it something like this. Perfect. Place it over here. Then I will go over here. For this one, I'm going to select it. Go to linear. Then select this and place this one over here. Perfect. And then I'm going to select this one. Go to linear and place this one over here. Something like this. A bit out. Perfect. So now you can see these are all the different states of a circle. It is going to move from here to here, then here, and then here. In this way, it will cover the 360 of the circle. Perfect. So right now everything is ready. Now what we can do is we can select all of them. Perfect. And I don't need this white color of this frame. So since I have selected it, I will go over here in the fill and I will click on this, which is remove. Perfect. So now the background is removed. The second thing that I want to do is I will go at the top, then I will go over here on this little chevron. So this down button is called chevron. Click on it and then I will select this option, which is create component set. Perfect. So now in this way you have converted it into a component. So right now, as you can see, we have been given a warning over here and it is saying that these layers have conflicting names. It means the name for these ones, as you can see from here, is same: default, 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 and default. It does not matter for the ellipse name, it has to be same. But this component or this frame name should be different. So I'm going to select the first one, go over here, which is this one. Then over here, instead of default, I'm going to write BR, which is a short form for the bottom right. So it is present at the bottom right. So I have named it as BR. Similarly for this one, I'm going to name it as top right, so TR. And for this one, I'm going to rename it to top left. And this one is going to be renamed as bottom left. Perfect. So now the conflict has gone. Let me show you. There is no conflict. Now we can start working on the animation part. So first of all, I will switch to prototype. Then I will select this first one. Then over here, I will get the access to this little dot. Let me zoom in. So if I go on the border of this frame, I will get this dot. And then I will attach it to the second one. Similarly, the second one is going to be towards the third. The third one is going to be towards the fourth. And this fourth one is going to be to the first one, because we want it to run in a loop without us having to interfere. Now I'm going to select all of them individually. Perfect. So I have selected all the frames. Now in the interaction, if I click over here, I get this setting. The trigger is on click. When you click on it, then it will change its state. So on trigger, the action is performed, which is changed to a property, which can be bottom right, top left, or anything else. Then an animation will be given. So let me give an animation which is going to be smart animate. And instead of curve ease out, I'm going to give it linear. Then duration is going to be 600. Perfect. So this value is in millisecond. And for this trigger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, then select this after delay. And this delay value is going to be 1 millisecond. Perfect. So right now I have done everything right. Let's see if it works properly. So to see the demo, what you need to do is you need to switch to assets, then go over here, created in this file. Then you will find this circle, click on it, and then use this option which is insert instance, and this will insert an instance of these component, basically a child of this component. Now while selecting this, if I go to prototype, I will find this option which is flow starting point, and if I click over here on this movie icon, this will start a preview. So right now, as you can see, this is not moving, but if I press this button which is restart, it will start moving. So this is how it is working, and it is working really great. We can use it in our hero section. Perfect. So let me cross this. I'm going to remove this flow. Just grab it and leave it. It will be gone. Let me switch back to file, go to design, select this one, put it over here inside the frame, and now I'm going to hit K on my keyboard to access this scale tool, and here I'm going to write 1800. So I'm going to make it really big, something like this, and then if I select this, I will get the access to these position values. So first of all, let me align it at the middle. Perfect. And then from the Y, I'm going to provide a value of 100. So right now it will be placed at its correct position. Perfect. Let me push it over here. Perfect now. So right now, if I click over here, then play this, this will show me the preview that how it is going to look. Again, it is not moving. Let me hit R. So this is working over here. But if I go over here, this is also working. Now we can move on in the designing part. So let's go to Figma again. And here, first of all, what we need to do is, we need to take a frame. But if I put a frame over here, this is going to interfere with my designing process. So I'm going to select this one, the circle, and then over here, I'm going to lock it. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a frame, drop it over here, change the dimension of the width to 440 and 1024. If I provide a fill color, you will see this is how it looks. And using the alignment, I'm going to place it at the center. Perfect. Now I'm going to select it and go over here. The fill color is 00. It means I have selected the primary frame. So instead I will select this one, which is this white one, and provide it a color of 00, which is black, with the opacity of 5%. So in this way, the circle will be visible. But then I will go to effects, switch to background blur, and here I will write a value of 116 for the background blur. And in this way, this will be blurred out, as you can see. And now if I go to preview, this is how it is looking. And that's how we wanted it to look. Perfect. Let me go back. And now let's start designing the navbar first, since the navbar is the first thing in the website. So let's hit Shift and 2. Perfect. And now for the navbar, again, we need a frame. So take a frame, drop it over here, fill it with the color, change the height to 110, perfect, and width to 1440, which is also the width of this frame. Cross this, and then I'm going to align it at the center, then at the top. In this way, our navbar will look something like this. I will change the color later on, but right now let me provide a gray color so that you all can see it properly. Perfect. Now let me zoom in over here, because the first thing that we need in the header is a site name. So take a text, drop it over here, and write dev.ai. Perfect. Since this is very small, I will select it, go to typography, and change the font size to 28 and this value to regular, which is the font weight. Perfect. And now I'm going to align it over here. Something like this using this red bar. Perfect. And now what I can do is I can go to this alignment and make sure this is placed at the middle. Perfect. Now the second thing that we need is the nav links, which is going to be over here right in the center. So take a text, drop it, zoom in and write home, then Ctrl D for the duplicate and write pricing, then the third one, duplicate again, write contact, then the fourth one, duplicate and write about. Well, first of all, what I need to do is I need to change their appearance. So I'm going to select all of them, then go over here, change the font size to 18 with medium font weight. Perfect. And then I'm going to provide them an auto layout using this option. Perfect. The gap between them is going to be 70. And if you are on the home page, we must denote that. For that, I'm going to select these rest of the text. And I will go to fill and provide it a color of, let's say, 60%. Perfect. And let's see how it looks. Let me select it, place it at the center using this alignment. Perfect. And at the middle as well. Perfect now. Now the third thing that we need over here is a button. So let's go over here. Now for this one, I'm going to take a frame to design my button. Draw it something like this. Fill it with the color. And now for the width, let me cross this. For the width, it is going to be 80. And the height is going to be 36. Perfect. Let me align it at the middle. Then with my red bar. Something like this. Since the edges are very sharp, I'm going to select it, give it a corner radius of 8. Perfect. Then take a text, drop inside this frame and write login. Select it and let me see. The size is going to be 16, pretty small with medium font weight. And this text is not placed at the center of this frame. So I'm going to use this alignment tool to place it at the middle, then at the center. Perfect. So the first button is created. We also need a secondary button for the sign up. So I'm just going to hit Ctrl D to make a copy of it and place it over here. Make sure the gap between them is 16. So hold Alt to see the gap. 19, 1, 2, 3, and it should be 16. Perfect. Now I'm going to change this text to sign up. Perfect. Place it at the middle. Perfect now. Then I'm going to remove this fill from this background. So remove this fill. Since this is a secondary button, I'm going to provide a stroke of white color with the opacity of 30%, and this font color is also going to be changed to white. So our both the buttons are also ready. Now what we can do is we can select our header and then we can change its color, or let's just remove it. Perfect. So now as you can see, this is how it is looking. Let me go to preview and see. So yeah, this is how it is looking, and this is looking very, very good. I can say that. Now let's go back to Figma and continue designing. So now we need a hero text over here. For that, take a text and write prompt your website. And yeah, I know it is very small, so I'm going to select it, change the size to 60 and then place it at the middle. Perfect. And the second thing that I want to do is, if I go over here, this is medium, but what we can do is we can select this one, which is the prompt text, and change its family to Playfair Display. and the font weight is going to be semi-bold italic. Perfect. So now it will have this look which is looking very great. Then place it at the center. Perfect now. Now we need a description text over here. So let me zoom in first, Shift and 2. Perfect. Take a text right over here, generate with capital G, generate your website by just writing. Let me select it, change the font size to let's say 20, and let me zoom in. Just writing what you want. Perfect. And I'm going to select it, go over here, and then I'm going to change this font weight to regular, then this fill color to 60%, since this is the description, not the heading. Let me place it at the center using this alignment, and then at the top, something like this, so that these two looks like a group of text. Select this, Shift and 2. So the hero text is ready. We need a crown over here. Let me show you what do I mean by a crown. Go over here, take a text and write flat 40% off for all customers. Perfect. Then I'm going to select this text and change the font size to 14, not 114 but 14. Perfect. And then I'm going to provide an auto layout. Perfect. Then I will provide this auto layout a stroke, which is a border with a white color, and the opacity is going to be 30 and weight is going to be 1. The corner radius is going to be full, so hold Shift and keep increasing the value until it is completely rounded. Perfect. Now the next thing that I need is a new text over here. So take a text and write new, something like this. Select it. The font size for this one is going to be 12 with medium font weight, and change the color to this blue. Perfect. And this one is also going to have the auto layout, but the horizontal padding for this one is going to be 7 and the vertical padding is going to be 6. And I know since the padding is not visible, we will provide a fill color of blue. And now the text is not visible. Let me cross it. So for the text visibility, we are going to reduce down the background color to 20% and then provide a corner radius of full, something like this. Let me zoom in. So this is how it is looking. And now I'm going to cut it from here, select this frame, this one, and paste it. Then I will move it to this side. I will select this frame, and the padding for the horizontal is going to be let's say 10, and the vertical it is going to be 8. Perfect. So this is how it is looking. Not at the center. Select it, place it at the center. The gap from the top, this navbar, should be 125, not 145. Let me push it down first. So the gap from the text and this crown should be around let's say 12 or maybe 20. Not that, but this one. 22, 1, 2. Perfect. And now I'm going to select all of them, place it up. 147, we need 125. Let's see. Perfect. So this is how it is looking. Now the next thing that we need to do is to design a text field over here. You must have seen that in the AI websites. Let me show you. So if I go to type in the Google lovable, go in the first link, you will see they have this text field over here, and we need to design something similar. So let's go back, take a frame, drop it, fill it with the color, change the width to 640 and the height is going to be 180. The corner radius is going to be 32. Perfect. Cross it. And the alignment is going to be at the middle. And this gap from the text and this field should be around 20. Let me see. 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. 24. 24 is also perfect. But I guess we can provide some more. Let's see. 34. And perfect. 32. So now this is very white. So I'm going to select it. Change the color to 121212, which is a variant of black. As you can see, there is a small difference between these two colors. Both are blank, but this is much lighter. I'm going to select it once again, then go to stroke because I want to provide a border. Provide a white border with 2 weight, and this one is going to be 30, and the position is going to be outside. Perfect. Now we have our text field over here. Now we can start putting the element inside it. But first, if I go in the preview, this looks something like this. So because of the field, the part of the circle is not visible. So what we can do is, we can go back, select this one, make this value to 50. Perfect. And then we will go to in the effects, go to background blur and give it a blur of 100. Not 4100, but 100. Perfect. So now if we go to preview, this is how it is looking. So right now the circle part is also visible even after the circle is moving behind this text field. Perfect. So this is how we wanted it to look. Go back. Perfect now. But I guess if I select all these and put them a bit up, this will look even much better. Yeah, this is good. Now let us start putting the element inside this field. As you can see, here we have this text, some options, and then the primary button. We are going to have the same thing. So go to design, zoom in, take a text first, and write enter your prompt here. Then 3 dots. Perfect. The size for this one is going to be 16 with regular font weight. But the color opacity is going to be 40%. And now I can place it over here, something like this, aligning it with this red rectangle. Let me zoom in, something like this, a bit up. Perfect. So the gap from the top is 28. Let's see. Yeah, perfect now. Now the next thing is we need some options over here. For that, I'm going to take a frame, drop over here inside this field, and let me provide a fill color. And now I'm going to place it over here, something like this, and increase the width till this much. Perfect. Cross it. The height is going to be 74. And I will use this alignment tool to place it at the bottom, something like this. And then I'm going to reduce down the opacity. Eventually I'm going to remove this color. But for now, let's keep it 10%. Go over here, take a text, drop it, write plus and attach files, select it, right click and provide auto layout. The horizontal padding for this one is going to be 16, or maybe let's take 14, and for the vertical it is going to be 6. I know it is not visible, so let me fill it with a color and give this color a code of 17, which is still black, and then I'm going to provide a corner radius of full. Perfect. And then I'm going to align it using this red rectangle. Perfect. And now I have this frame over here, so what I can do is I can place it at the middle. Perfect. Then I will select it, change its opacity to, let's say, 60%. Perfect now. Then I'm going to select it because I need one more of it. Control D, place it over here. See the gap, 20, I need 16, 15 and 16. Perfect. And here I'm going to write @public repo. So if you want to clone some GitHub repo, you can also do it with our website. Perfect now. Then I will go over here because here we need to design the button. Take a frame, drop it inside that, clip it, change this height and width value to 38 by 38, fill it with a color which is going to be this one. Perfect. Align it at the middle. Then with this red rectangle, zoom in, and the corner radius is going to be, let's say, 50. In this way it will be converted into a circle. Then right here I will right click, go to, let's say, my plugins. Where are my plugins? Here they are. So here I will go to box icons. You might not find it, so you will go to manage plugins and here write box icons. Select it, view details, then run it. And here in the search you will write arrow up. Let's type arrow only. And then I'm going to select this icon. Click on it, cross it, and here we have it. Then cut it, go inside this frame. Perfect. And then place it. It is not at the center, so use this alignment to place it at the center. And I don't like this black color, so I will give it a color of white. Perfect. So let's see. This is how it is looking. And now one last thing that I want to do is I want to select this, this and this, and I will go over here in the alignment and give it bottom so that these will be placed at the bottom with significant space over here. Now I will select this frame and remove this color. Remember I said it that I'm going to remove it. So now it's time, remove it. Perfect. And now if I go to preview once again, this is how it is looking. And it is looking very, very beautiful. Perfect. Let me go back. Now we need to provide some suggestions over here so that the user can come directly, click on those suggestions and can generate his websites. So for that, take a text, drop it and write portfolio website. Select it. First of all, let's change this one, which is going to be 16. So we are not changing that. But here in the opacity, we are going to change it to 70%. Then I'm going to select it and hit Shift and A. In this way, auto layout will be provided. You can also do it with this option. Here you have remove auto layout because I have selected the auto layout. For you, this will be add auto layout. Perfect. Now I will go to stroke, provide a border with 30% of the opacity. So I guess now you know it. And the corner radius is going to be full. And right now it is looking a bit weird. It is because in the horizontal padding we need to provide 16 and the vertical padding we need to provide 8. Perfect. And now it is looking much better. We can select it, make 2 more copy of it, place it over here. Perfect. And for this text I'm going to write generate privacy policy, and for this one I'm going to write e-commerce website. Perfect. And let me place it over here, this one over here, and select all of them. Right click, go to add auto layout, and you will get this flow over here which is horizontal. You can also set it wrap. So if you have more element, it will go under these elements. Perfect. But right now I don't want that. So I will go over here in the alignment and give it centers, place it bit up, something like this. The gap is 34. Let's take 30, 31 and 30. Perfect. And this gap should be a bit large. So the gap between them is 14, should be 16. And at the center. Perfect. Now let's take a good look. As you can see, this is looking much better, but this portion is looking quite empty. So for that, I will go on the new tab and go to a website called loremipsum.io. Then here I will generate 2 paragraphs and then I will just copy it. Perfect. So these are the 2 paragraphs that I have copied. I will go here in the design, zoom in, take a text, drop it. This is how it is going to be placed. I don't want any gap, so remove that. Perfect. I will make it small, place it over here. And now what I can do is, I can reduce down this width from here. So let's write 2000 or maybe not. Let's take 1200. Perfect. 1200 is perfect. So I need to align it with my red rectangle as well. So let's see. Perfect. Select the text. The font size is 16. I need 18. Then the opacity for this one is going to be, let's say, 30%, because this is some informational text, or maybe let's say 20%. So this is how it is looking. Let me select it, go in the more options in the typography, and then provide this justify alignment. In this way, the text will be placed symmetrically. Perfect. And let's see how much is the gap from the bottom. It is 50. Let's take a bit less. 40. 40 is great. And now I'm going to select it, remove this layout guide, and this is how our hero section is looking like, which is absolutely perfect. But let's go in the preview and see how it is looking with the animation. So right now, as you can see, this is how our hero section has came out to be, which is absolutely blissful. Let me hit F11 key to take a good look. And yeah, this is how you and I have made this website together. Well, if you also have made it along with me, consider sending it to our Telegram group. There you can share your designs and also you can review the designs of others. Let's go together, join the Telegram. And in case if you are not a Telegram person, you can also join our Discord. The link for the Discord is given in the description as well. We have a community there as well. You can share the designs and discuss about it. Well, with this, I think this is the time to say goodbye. We will meet in the next one.